Welcome back to the Fandamentals podcast, where we talk all things related to sports from a fan's perspective. This is an opinion based show. We got a little bit of facts sprinkled in there, but it's an opinion based show. I'm here with my good friends, Gary and Adrian. I thank everybody for joining us this episode. I want to go over the agenda. We're going to talk about some of the power rankings and who's real, who's not. We're going to talk about some of this gambling stuff in sports and some of my feelings on it. I would love to hear y'all's feelings on it. And I would like to talk about Jordan's take on load management and what y'all think on it. And we'll try to get some other things in there. I would love to start, since we're gonna get to the NFL power rankings, we're gonna get to the gambling thing, but one of the things that I found that I loved, Michael Jordan talked about load management. Of course, Jordan was all about playing every game, so you are you already know his take on that. And basically he was saying, hey, you got to think about the guy that worked hard for the ticket to come out and see you. You got to think about the person that doesn't like you. You got to go out there and show him up every night. You got something to prove every night, day in and day out. And he didn't want to take no rest. He had something to prove every night. And it was either proving something to somebody that didn't believe in him, or simply for himself. But whatever it was, he found something to be able to go out and play every night. And I think the fact that people save up their money to get tickets to go to your game, I think that in itself is something. And he brought up, are you injured? Is this something where you physically can't do it, or are you just resting? And he brought it up. You are in the entertainment business. You get paid to entertain, and you have to go out there and do that for 2.5 hours, and that's what they pay you to do. I 1,000%. I mean, with all the money that they make now, they make tons more than he made when he was in the league. With all the even not even like the good players are making more than he made, when he was in the league. And I totally agree. This is what your job is. This, resting and load management. I mean, I I just don't. It's just not for me. And you can't convince me, because they got to rest because it's their bodies and all of that. The game was way more physical, and they weren't thinking about resting. And another thing, they were running from baseline to baseline. There was no running from 3-pointer to 3-pointer. Nobody even goes in the paint anymore. Barely, right? And so there's so many things where I'm just not sold, where they need more rest now. What do y'all think?
We'll let you have that, Gary. What you think?
I agree. I mean, if you're not hurt, you should play. The load management thing, I know that. I think Popovich started that really back in the
Yeah.
2010 or so, when he started getting fined by David Stern because he was sitting Duncan and he was sitting Parker and he was sitting Ginobili, and there weren't really any
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
explanations for their injuries. But I agree. I can imagine being a young fan, or the parent, even worse, the parent of a young fan who's, you know, it just lives and breathes, we'll say Kevin Durant or LeBron James, and then there's an opportunity for you to see your hero, and load management gets thrown into the equation, and all of a sudden, you spend $200 on tickets, and the guy doesn't even travel to that area, or he doesn't, get off the
Hmm.
bench. I mean,
Even that's even worse. Yeah.
that's the part that really resonated with me, that Jordan was saying. But and it doesn't surprise me at all that he was doing it to prove somebody wrong, even if it's just one person in the stands, or maybe one person in the press from the other opposing team.
Yeah.
I can totally, that's Jordan said that in his Hall of Fame speech, that it was the naysayers that fueled him. So that's just how he's built. And he even went back to the flu game where he was like, "Hey, let's play and just see what happens," and that kind of mentality. I don't
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
know if players have that anymore. So it's very interesting, and I agree with him, and I agreed with everything you said too, Will.
I mean, we done talked about it before on the show about load management, and I mean, at the end of the day, I'm in agreement. It's
Yeah.
like if you can play, you should play. You kind of, I mean, you should want to be playing the game for those that want to come see you. Play for those that may have saved up money all year just to come see you one time, what I'm saying, for that one fan or whatever, have your reason to play out of all, at least have the reason, what I'm saying? Like, you kind of, I'm not going to say you owe it, but you kind of do owe it to people like the fans and stuff, because without fans and fan base, you wouldn't be getting the money that you're getting in the
Exactly.
first place. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's like it's a double edged sword. I mean, I do agree that if you can't physically play and you really can't physically play, then nobody's gonna hold that against you if you really are injured. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna ask you to go out there with a broken arm or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
if it's just one of those things to where like, oh, I just woke up this morning, I don't really feel like, getting up and playing basketball, but I'm 100% healthy. You're not in the mood to it. Get out there and go ball anyway, because you might end up being, what I'm saying, putting yourself in the mood to play. It's a competitive sport. A lot of times, like people like Jordan and them, they have their reasons to keep playing, but it's also like, you're proving something to people. But you also are looking at it as this is a job. You
Mm-hmm.
literally, yeah, you might have to do a shoot around, or might have to go to practice a couple of times out the week, but literally you're getting paid to do something that's been people's childhood games, just growing up doing for fun. You know
For
what I'm
fun.
saying?
Yeah.
You grew up doing it for fun, most people anyway. So it's like, shoot, if the average Joe might want to go ball every single day of the week or whatever they're gonna do once a, it's only really mostly it's in basketball. But if the average Joe, you seen people at the gym that might be at the gym playing basketball 5, 6 days out the week, you know what I'm saying, for a few hours, and then they still go do what they gonna do throughout the day,
Mm-hmm.
and also have a day job, So it's almost like this is your job. 2 hours out of the day, that's really all you're dedicating to people. You're not working an 8 hour shift. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might have to get up early for a shoot around or your film sessions and practices, but you're not working. But when your actual work comes out to do 8 hours, I mean 2 hours, 2.5 hours out the day. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do that for 2 hours, 2.5 hours out the day.
Yeah. And
So yeah, I'm in agreement though. I'm in agreement. It's like you know,
And I
yeah.
like that you brought up, some people are playing for fun. Like some people go do this, hit the gym every day, go run,
Mm-hmm.
rec league basketball after going to work, and granted, we know it's not at the level of, the
Right.
NBA,
Right.
but this is a game that sports in general, these are things that we love to do as kids. We enjoy that stuff. It was for fun. You get paid to play a sport that we enjoyed as kids. Like this is fun, right? It's for me it's just hard to think that I know that there's 82 games on the schedule and I know 10 of them I'm going to take off cuz I just, I need to and it's for me I couldn't imagine having that thought cuz I'm like I want to go play all 82 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to go play all the games, right? Like that's what I do this for. I do this for a living.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Facts.
know. It's I mean, obviously we're not in their heads. We don't know what the coaches and owners talk about. I do feel like owners have about 20 to 30% of that influence of the load management.
Right.
Um
Yeah.
because obviously they want to protect their asset. I don't know, something we obviously can't. I mean, I can't sit here and say LeBron doesn't have a sciatic nerve, issue. It's not fair for me to say that, but load management has been in his wheelhouse for some years, and we know when there's certain games where he's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna like let him take a break,"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for those
And
owners, I
Kobe
think
would never.
yeah, I think for those owners, you protect your investment by having the best training staff available and by making sure you're taking care of them with the travel, because the players, they
Yeah.
used to talk about traveling just with regular folks back in the day. Now they have their own
Oh,
private.
dang, we
Um,
lost him. We lost him. Dang, I feel what he's saying. Like the owners protect their players with the travel. They protect their
Mm-hmm.
players with giving them the best trainers. That's how you protect your asset, because you have to think about it like this. These You're in a position that you're in to make money based on your fan base, and
Yeah.
your fan base is generated based on the players, like the team that you have constructed.
Yep.
There's people that simply buy a ticket because they just want to see LeBron, or they just want to see Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Durant, or they just want to
Mm-hmm.
see, whoever it
Or
is,
they just might want to go to their favorite team's game,
or they just want to go to
or
their
just
favorite
to
team's
go
game.
to a game
But
just for something to do.
yeah, but if I go to the game, I want all the product.
Yeah.
I want all the
Yeah.
product. I want to see it all. Like, I don't you can't tell me, I don't want to go to the restaurant and then you don't have the full menu.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Makes sense.
It just
It just
you
makes
know what I
sense.
mean?
I'm not coming for half of the menu. I'm coming to be able to have my, what I'm saying, my pick of the litter.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so that's where the issue for me is, and I like that Michael Jordan is who he is in terms of honesty. Like, even in that interview, the particular interview that I listened to, he talked about, in your off time, continue to work on your
Mm-hmm.
craft, or whatever. And then he says, but like, I shouldn't be used as an example,
Yeah.
like, because
Yeah.
we know
We,
Jordan was in the
we know.
casinos
Yeah. We
smoking
know.
cigars. But
But
like,
he was
speaking
real
of,
with it.
yeah, he's real with it. But speaking of casinos, obviously we have the Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones thing.
Yeah.
Now the Chauncey Billups thing apparently is like separate, right? It's something with some poker tables or something, some rigged poker tables with mafia and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I don't obviously we don't know what's going on. I'm a firm believer into in innocent
Until
until
proven guilty.
proven guilty. Obviously we know society, it's generally guilty until proven innocent. Um
And even then, you still.
right. Even then you still um here's my thing with it, man. I really find it hard to believe that Chauncey Billups was doing things with the mafia to like legit rip people off or hustle anybody. I very well I do believe that there are NBA players that go to uh gambling houses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have no issue with that. Like, is it against the law? All right, but man, we play Tunk and we play, what I mean,
Bro, we gamble.
we
Most people
gamble
gamble
at
all the
home
time,
all the
like just
time.
doing basic things. Like, yeah, I mean, like you could sit there. We all we could do is speculate. You know what I'm saying? But till facts come out about what's really happening, it
Right.
is what it is. The only
It is
thing,
what it is.
like the whole poker table and the mafia. I don't know about all that. Ain't about to get into all that whole. I don't know nothing about all that. But just a simple fact though, like I don't think he probably had any hand in it or knowing about them. You know what I'm saying, with all these
Right.
rigged poker games and stuff like it. If he did do it, you know what I'm saying, then he's guilty of it. But gambling, it's here's my thing, man. if you had a poker table, casino, and y'all gambling, doing something like that, one thing, yeah,
Hmm.
cool, whatever. That's Vegas is invented for gambling. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, there's a
Right.
whole city that is based around, for the most part, not the whole
Yeah,
city,
for the
but
most
for the
part, for
most
sure.
part, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We know what Las Vegas, when you hear this, when you hear Las Vegas, you know what you're thinking. You're thinking
Yep.
casinos and all kinds of things. So legalized
Hmm.
gambling, technically. So
Yeah.
poker tables and all kinds of things that go on there. And I mean, if you know history, that it's all come from mafia land. But you know, um,
Exactly,
so
man.
so with Chauncey Billups, it's like okay, him, Damon Jones is also part of that whole ring too. That they say he has a hand in both sides.
Yeah.
My part, the one that I have more of an issue with, because I don't know whether either any of these guys are guilty for what they do. Now, sports rigging to me
That's different.
is different,
Yeah.
especially when you are a player. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Now, if you're a player and you're going into a casino or you doing whatever y'all doing, however y'all gambling, whatever, that's one thing. But when you are
Yeah.
able to literally rig games based upon your performance or whatever, that's a bigger issue to me than a person that is doing regular poker tables or something like that. Now, all of it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Right and right, wrong is wrong. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit there and say like, oh well, just if he was guilty, if Chauncey's guilty of doing some ill, you know what I'm saying, then he is. It is what it is.
Right.
He's wrong is wrong. Period. He
Right.
should be punished however the law says be punished on that. My thing with the whole sports betting type gambling, especially when it involves players,
Yes.
I've always had an issue if a player is doing something and leading to you're technically gambling on your own sport.
Yeah.
That's a definite conflict of interest to me.
Yeah. No, I'm with
My
you.
other issue that I have, and this goes to the NBA or any of these other sports franchise, I mean, leagues that are out there, is the promotion of sports betting
Mm.
that they do, but then you punish for sports betting.
Yeah.
To me, it should be, don't promote it. I don't
If you
care
don't
about
like it.
commercials or anything. Don't promote it at all if you don't want it to happen. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want it to happen, don't promote it. Point blank, period. It doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't really matter if, you have rules against it, but you're still promoting it. So that makes no sense to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's almost like that's almost like advertising AA, but then you're holding a bottle of a drink at the session or something like that. Like,
Exactly.
it doesn't make sense. You're promoting something that you're against. That makes no sense, and that's my biggest problem. I
Yeah.
always have a problem when it comes to gambling. Like, we know Terry Rozier, what he's been investigated for. The NBA hasn't found nothing of him the last couple of years, but about whatever he's doing. But if you are able to gamble or bet, one thing I say, a sports player should not be able to bet on mainly their own sport
On
for
sport.
one.
Right.
But of course we know they kind of link up with other people from other sports too. So you could
Yeah.
still have influence on
It's an
having
issue.
people shave money. So it's no matter
Right.
what, it's an issue, period. So it's a conflict of interest. The fact that we are legalizing sports betting, sports gambling, and then also condemning people for doing it that are in the league, it's crazy because you are actually promoting something that you're against. It just makes no sense to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I always have a problem with, I don't mind if y'all if you like an NBA player, football player, whatever sport you are. If you were just at home and y'all gambling over some, couple of $1,000 of your own money on a card game or something like that, that's fine. I don't
Yeah.
care what y'all do there. But y'all don't need to be gambling on any sports at all. You making millions off of this sport. What do you need more for it from it
Yeah.
for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you don't need to do that. Go to the casino, go whatever you're gonna do, play with your homeboys, can't bet this bet, I bet you whatever. You wanna bet and or whatever you wanna do, put money up, hey, run them ones. You know what I'm saying? Now we starting to see
Yeah.
the little one-on-one type things. You know what I'm saying? Run the
Yeah.
ones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, I
Yeah.
raise some money for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
if that's what you're gonna do. But like, man, like if you're gonna do it, do it smart. You know what I'm saying? if you're gonna gamble, just do it in a range where you know it ain't gonna mess up your career if you
Yeah.
get caught. You can't get your career messed up if you go into Las Vegas and gambling. Heck, we know Dennis Rodman used to go to Vegas after the game and come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Jordan.
So yeah, they used to always do these things, but it's just like be smart, be smart. Y'all out there tripping, bro.
Yeah, like you said it right. You gotta move the right way when you're doing it. If I'm a professional athlete, if it ain't a legit casino, I ain't
Hmm.
stepping into it. I
Yeah,
ain't stepping into it. Period.
that's it.
Now this Terry Rozier thing, again, we don't know if he's guilty. I gotta wait for everything to come out, or
You,
whatever.
yeah,
But if you
apparently they've
doing
been
stuff
trying to
like that,
investigate him
because
for years, but
apparently,
yeah.
yeah, apparently, this it might have been some of his own games. That's and the thing about it is, it would be like a couple 100,000 here and a couple 100,000 there, and it's like we don't know if this is true, but if a couple 100,000 and you've had a couple $1 million contracts.
What's a couple 100,000 to a man that's making millions?
Exactly, man. Like, come on,
That's what
dude. Is this
you gonna risk your career for a couple 100,000, bro?
right?
When you getting paid probably at least 5 to 6 million a year.
Yeah.
Come
But
on, man.
why aren't they showing? Why are they not showing anybody from Mafia? Like all these other people that are
Mm,
implicated in this, why are they not showing any of them?
Cause they ain't big names.
Yeah. I kind of got an
At
issue
least
with
big
that.
names and at least big names to the world. In the sense of you don't know unless you're really studying history and looking into like the mafia movies and all
Yeah.
these other things like that. I mean, most people they blind eyed to what that type of syndicate runs and all the underground and stuff like that. So it doesn't mean anything. Who are
Right.
these people? It doesn't mean anything like that. But when you talk about sports figures, they're in the public eye, and then we already know
It's true.
there's other things that come along with that, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
say it
That's
without
yeah.
saying it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
look at the news and who's in it, guess what they are? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's just a lot of things that do go on with it. We know some of it's politics, and we know
Mm-hmm.
just at the way the country is moving nowadays. You don't know the agendas of all this stuff. I would be the same way. Like, why if there's 30 people, why only 3 people are named? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who's the other 27?
Yeah.
Why is it always? But then again, a lot of times it is big name celebrities when they get caught in scandals. Don't matter how many people were a part of it,
They only gonna talk
you
about the
only know
celebrity.
about you only know about them because they're the
Yeah.
big name, they're the big celebrities in this thing. So that's how that all rolls to me. And yeah, I
Yeah.
but until we get more real information on it, what I'm saying, I'm gonna keep all that my true judgments and opinions on like Chauncey and like you said, all we could do is speculate and then talk about it as a whole. And
Yeah.
that's really where we at with it. It's just talking about it as a whole. I don't like it. I think if you're gonna gamble, go to Vegas. You know, go to
Yeah.
wherever you're gonna go. Just do it in a place to where you're only betting on a poker game. I
Yeah.
don't go out here betting on my own score and how many games this person's gonna play, or if you got inside
My over
information.
under and all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, or if you got inside information about who's gonna be out, who's not, because apparently that's what they saying about what Damon
Damon
Jones was.
Jones. Yeah.
He had inside information on certain things, who was gonna be in, who's gonna be out, who to
Right.
bet on. That type of stuff right there, man. It's like leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just you want to bet on the NBA games? There's DraftKings. Go ahead,
Yeah.
pick your lineup. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And hope people score points, and then just do it some kind of way to where it can't get back to you as you spending bukus of dollars and you doing some underground type funky weird stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. The thing that's crazy is like we as the regular consumers of the entertainment, the sports entertainment, as the regular consumers, we sit here and I do prize picks and I do
Mm-hmm.
DraftKings and and FanDuel, mostly Prize Picks. That's generally what I've been on. But
Yeah.
there's nobody I can't call and be like, hey, have you heard? Is anybody gonna be injured? Who's playing? Who's not? I can't do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's just all. There's been times like where it's like I find out last second somebody ain't playing, and I already done set my stuff up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like for fantasy football stuff like that, and it's like we don't have no inside information, right? and
Right.
so and so for somebody that may not gamble, they may be like, they might think that that little tidbit of information is not that important, but it actually is. It's
Yeah.
actually very important.
Yeah. For real, it really
Yeah,
is.
yeah, for sure. um yeah, man. I don't know. Have you been keeping up with the season so far, man? The NBA season?
Yeah, I've been monitoring it. I've been
Yeah.
monitoring it pretty good, pretty well. You know me. Been on. I've been
The
watching a couple of the games.
yeah. The look, we make so many complaints about the referees, but they gotta get they better hurry up and get into mid season form, because some of the officiating I've been seeing in the NBA has been. I mean, I watch Giannis travel to Greece yesterday.
He went back home, didn't he?
he went he went home. I'm like, guys, how many steps you gonna give him? But no, really, I wanted to talk about real quick before we get into the NFL power ranking thing. Um, the whole thing when the Lakers played Sacramento and they told DeMar DeRozan how many times Austin Reeves had went to the line, and he just got up and walked away at the press conference. Is have we look, I think Shea Gilchrist Alexander is a wonderful player. He's great. I like his game. But one of the big complaints last year was the amount that he went to the free throw line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are we going to start seeing people kind of follow suit, like just continue to draw fouls, draw foul, draw foul? Because we watched Austin Reeves have like 52 points, and 22 of those points were what, free throws, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something to that matter. But either way, that's a lot of points off of free throws. Um, can the league do anything about that? Like, I mean, there's got to be some, because some of these fouls are ticky tack fouls. Like, like Adam Silver, what are you gonna do, man? Well, like, what are we gonna do about this?
I mean, there really ain't much we can do about it, man. Like, it's the way the league's gone. Just kind of the way the league's gone. But I mean, we known stars to get all kinds of ticky tack fouls for almost forever and a day. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I mean, back in the day, of course, most of them were getting hit. You know what I'm saying? But there are times where we seen them get away with like little small ticky tack fouls, and I mean that's a star power. You know what I'm saying? That's the unfortunately, that's what the stars get. Now, Austin Reeves is
Austin
a little
Reeves
bit
ain't no star.
different. Yeah, he's a little
Not
different
yet.
because he ain't a star. Now, unless they trying to make him a star, but
That's
it's a little different.
valid. Valid. I didn't
Yeah,
even
it's
think
a little
about that.
different. But I mean, in this game, though, we seen like sometimes the rules are just inconsistent. It's just inconsistent with the way they call the games. Some
Yeah.
players get more calls than others. Some players don't. I mean, I thought the rule in the game, the rule was, go straight up. You can't get a foul. But I didn't see them call fouls on people with their hands straight up in the air.
Straight
So
up
it's
in the
just like,
air. Yep.
so it's kind of like it just depends on who it is.
Yeah.
Some people like, even though Austin Reeves is not no superstar name, he's kind of becoming a household name, especially when you talk about Lakers.
Yeah.
He's a big name for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So they might be trying to edge him to get those calls.
Yeah.
Um, it's just the way the league has always been when it comes to certain players, man. Like, and I can understand rewarding players for being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? There's times where if you're just a little much more aggressive, you get a lot of 50-50 calls
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're playing aggressive. So is there really anything that they can do? No. I mean, the only thing they're gonna be able to do is just stop calling fouls on little small. So how do you curb that? I mean,
Yeah,
some players kind of scoop the system, and I will say Shea gets some calls that you're just like, really,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
really,
He does.
did he really was he really fouled right there? I mean, or are you just
Yeah,
calling it? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes they just kind of dupe the system, as you could say. So I
like the
don't
Eagles.
know. We ain't even know football. You went there, but 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 like just to be 100 with it though, there's nothing they're gonna be able to do, man. Like 22, it's a lot of trips to the line, but we play in a game that is a lot less physical. They get away with a lot more pity pat, ticky tack fouls. But then again, you got to look at it from another standpoint. Some of these players might not even get that many fouls to the line if they call travel, but that's neither here nor there.
That part.
So,
That
it's
part.
just the way the rules of the game. The rules of the game goes. They're allowing them to be rewarded for less contact.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did bring up Philly. I like what you said. I agree with what you said. Before we get into the power rankings, bro, I, 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 I'm gonna vent for a minute.
Go ahead and give out your grievances to
All
right
right.
now.
I watched the Philadelphia Eagles do a tush push. I watched Jalen Hurts trying to reach the ball over the first down marker, not the end zone line, the first down marker, where his legs were still driving and he was still moving. I
Hmm.
watched the ball get taken away. That's a fumble. And I
Yeah,
watched the refs say no, forward
it
progress
was stopped.
was stopped. Generally when it stopped, you blow the whistle.
Yeah.
For one, y'all didn't blow the whistle, and two, it wasn't stopped. Now, if we really gonna do this tush push thing and the league wants to keep it, you better call it within the rules of the game. That means your guard can't be false starting every time you do it. That means if Jalen Hurts is driving and still moving forward and he decides to reach the ball out and it gets taken, that's a fumble. That means you don't get to line up and have all of your guys' heads past the football. We gotta do this thing right if you're gonna do it. If not, get it out of here.
That's a fact. I ain't got nothing
Period.
against it. That's the fact. we
If
seen it
if
all
if
year
if, if
long.
you're not gonna officiate it correctly, get it the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Cause let me tell you what, I'm already sick of looking at it, be honest with you. I'm sick of
yeah,
looking at it. But it's part of the game, so I look at it. But what I don't want to sit and tolerate is when y'all don't even follow the rules when it's used. And the refs don't even, you know what I mean?
yeah. I will say that is the truth. They have definitely got away with a lot of things this year with that tush push. A lot of things. I don't even know, bro. Because I
Yeah,
saw that play. I saw that play too, and my thought process was like, "That's a fumble.
that's a fumble.
That's a
That's,
fumble."
but based on the rules, that's a fumble. Why do we
It's
get to
probably
change it for the tush push?
it wasn't a fumble. It was a tuck rule. He
Uh,
just extended the tuck. So
yeah,
yeah,
I,
it's a tuck rule. But
I just had
that
to
that
vent about that.
clearly looks like a fumble. If
That's
I
a fumble.
yeah.
That's a
There's other
fumble.
things that I mean that was one thing that's just annoying. There's other things that kind of annoy me about certain things with the rules of the NFL.
Shoot.
One thing just to it's not about this or anything, but I can't think of who I was watching. Can't think of it. But the guy scored a touchdown. And this is my problem with the whole goal line thing, right? I understand it. The ball breaks the plane, touchdown, right?
Yes.
So you got this big thick goal line. The ball only has to touch the very front part of that goal line
Yes.
and it's a touchdown.
Yes.
I think that's BS. I think the ball should be able to have to cross that whole white line.
Agreed.
And then the front of the ball needs to touch the paint of the team's end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like where that end zone and that goal line end at.
Yeah.
That to me is crossing the goal line. not
I
the
agree.
ball going right over the very front part and you calling that a touchdown. I can't remember who I was watching that did that. And I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
Like it's been in the rules for years, and I understand it's been the rule, but I never liked that rule. It's like if the ball doesn't cross over into the colored area of the end zone and it's just that white line and you just touch the very front part, you technically didn't get across the goal line.
Yeah.
You was just on the goal line. That's not a you ain't pass and go.
I agree
Y-
with that.
You know what I'm saying? That's like you hitting a number on Monopoly and you get all the way down to that one spot and it says go and you land on that. You don't get
No,
that
you have to
$200.
pass
You
go.
gotta go past go to get that
Yeah.
$200. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like you can't tell me you passed the goal line just because the ball hit that white whole strip should be the whole goal line. And it needs to be past that whole goal line for you to get a touchdown. And this is not favoring any team. I think that should be around the whole entire league. Period. Point
Yeah.
blank, period. There's
I
rules in
agree.
it. There's rules in the NFL that just don't make no sense to me. But hey.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I agree with that. The ball should have to completely go over the goal line for it to be a touchdown.
It just seems only fair, only right. You already screwed defense out of so much anyway. So
Oh yeah, they do. They
can they
do.
get a little bit of help? You know what I'm saying? Like, dang.
Yeah, for sure. Power rankings, man. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna use Fox Sports power ranking, and what I have in front of me is the number one. Fox Sports has the number one team right now, being the 5-2 Detroit Lions with Super Bowl odds of plus 650. Um, I don't agree with them being number one. What are your thoughts?
No.
Who would you
I think the
say?
number I think the number one team right now, let's just keep it a buck, is the Indianapolis Colts right
I agree, 1000%. You know, it's
now.
crazy. Fox Sports has Indianapolis Colts as number four.
Don't tell me KC's number two.
No, the Rams are number two, which I don't even agree with that. And I'm a Rams fan to the core, and I don't think they're number two. I think they're in the top 10.
Yeah.
Definitely don't think they're
Definitely
number
top 10.
two. Yeah,
Definitely top 10.
yeah, not
Um
number two.
I would put Colts number one because they have looked good, period. It didn't matter
Yeah,
who they played. They lost one game this
to the
season
Rams.
to the Rams, and
Yeah,
that is a top 10 team in the league.
yeah, and I'm gonna be fair as a Rams fan. The Colts had several times to
They
be
could
in
have
that
won that.
game. Yeah, they
Hmm.
had several times. One of those touchdowns, or one of those times they could have scored. The wide receiver dropped the ball before he got to the end zone. There was not
Hmm.
another player within 5 yards of him, so that would have been a touchdown. Like that, they
Hmm.
had several times to have been in that game.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Um. So if I was to do top five right now, thinking off the top of my head, I got I got Colts one. I would probably
it's hard right now.
because I want to say I would throw Philly up there, but there's Philly ain't look great to me either.
I'm just not
They've had
sold.
a couple of games that recently that just looks better than what they've been, but I kind of would probably put Detroit maybe two, maybe
Okay.
two. Um, Number three, maybe the Patriots. Surprisingly, three of no, 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 no. They can probably they make a good case for top five though, because the Patriots have looked good this year. I
Yeah.
will say that they look good. They have looked good. I'll probably put Philly maybe three. I kind of want to put the Rams like at four. I can give y'all top five because y'all have looked really good this year.
It's yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then like at five, I'm probably gonna go with the Patriots. Then I go six, probably Kansas City, something like that. I am not putting Kansas City top five. They haven't looked good. They looked good the last 2 weeks, but
But
competition
against.
wise, who they really played. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Exactly.
like not really. They played the Raiders. Yeah. And you know, Sunday they, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting them top five yet. Philly, well, I say I will put Philly in top five. I gotta put Philly in top five, so I'll probably move New England down to six. 7 will probably be the Chiefs or something like that. Um, but it is really hard though. It's really hard. It's kind of difficult to rate them. I mean, you can always say Green Bay. I got Green Bay. Green Bay could be thrown up there somewhere. Um, yeah, it's tough.
Fox Sports has Green Bay at 3. Here's Fox Sports' top 10. I'm gonna give you their top 10. Detroit number 1, Los Angeles 2, Green Bay 3, Indianapolis Colts 4, Tampa Bay 5, Philadelphia 6, Buffalo 7, Kansas City 8, Seattle 9, Denver Broncos 2. Right
10.
now, Denver is in my top 5 right now.
They make a case. They make a good
Denver
case.
based on who they've beat.
But who they lose to?
Yeah, but I thought it was really impressive that how they were able to.
I don't put no stock in them beating the Cowboys.
Yeah,
They made my day now. They
yeah,
made my day feel a lot better because I lost earlier today. But I
yeah.
don't put no stock in that
Here's why
win.
I got to put some stock into it,
No,
because
do it.
they were
Do it.
able to contain the offense of the Cowboys, and we
Yeah,
the Cowboys they've had a really solid offense. They defense. I mean,
that's the part of the game that really
been
matters the
open like some
most.
panties with holes in them. But
Exactly. That's the part of the game that matters the most. So you could
I
score on
know it.
a non-defensive team. I don't see the Cowboys doing much with just offense. You can't do much with just
Yeah,
offense.
but Denver's defense was able to contain CeeDee Lamb and Pickett
I
for
mean,
the most part.
it's
Hmm?
easy to do when you ain't got to do nothing but worry about their passing game. But
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna. I give them credit for the win. Thank you for the win. Thank you, because you
Let's
make
see.
my day a lot better all the time.
Let's
But
see.
Denver's a good team though. I'll give them top 10 definitely. Definitely give them top 10.
Yeah, Denver's Denver's in the argument for top 10. Green Bay. Here's Green Bay is 5-1. Right, they had the tie with the Cowboys. They looked impressive against Pittsburgh. Right.
And Pittsburgh is a pretty decent team, no matter what people want to say.
Yeah. I mean, like, so, I mean, when you look at who they've been able to beat, they've been able to beat who some have as the number 1 team right now. They've been able to beat Detroit, like, like
True,
convincingly, you know.
true,
Um,
true.
and they look very solid. What was that, Sunday night? They look
Yeah,
very solid,
yeah, true, true.
you know. Um, so
You can't sleep on them. I would put. I didn't even really, to be honest with you, I didn't really sit and think all the way through about what the rankings would be. I look at it from the standpoint of right now. I think the best team in football right now is Indianapolis Colts.
yes, and
They're
they
the
have the
best
number
team in
1
football.
rushing in the league.
Boy, he is
He's killing
he
it
is going off. I'd to go
on every
I'd
level of running back.
I'd to go bust his kneecap.
Don't you wish that?
Nah, I didn't say I was wishing that. I said which we know I'm not going there to go do nothing like that. But
Yeah.
there was
Um.
2 years in a row I had him on my fantasy league team,
Oh, and
and he
you
was
got
injured, being
yeah.
and not being you. Now all of a sudden, when I don't have him, he's showing out. You know what? Yeah. But other than that, though, he's been a beast, and their offense has been rolling. Their defense has been keeping them. They look good. They look good.
They
Now,
look good.
do I have them as a Super Bowl? No.
No,
You know what I'm saying? I don't have them as a Super
no,
Bowl favorite or nothing like that. But as far as where they're at this point in the season, they're looking really good.
they are.
Really good.
And and I think it's important to point out how well Daniel Jones has been able to manage the offense and look good. He's been throwing really
True.
good passes,
True. He's looked really good.
and people gotta wonder: was it Daniel Jones?
No, it
Because
was Daniel Jones. Ain't no wondering. Ain't no wondering. Nope. Nope. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I can't. You talk about with New York, I'm not doing it. It's too many seasons he was in the league, and he was stinking up the joint down in New York. You could sit there and want to blame it on what you call him all we want to. He's had one good year in New York. That's because he had Saquon Barkley healthy that year.
Yeah.
So
So is this
are
because
we
he has
saying that
Jonathan Taylor?
it could be? We don't know. It could be. I'm not gonna take away from the man because he still has to play football. But I'm not gonna sit here and speculate what happened in New York because there's too many seasons in New York. I seen you play trash. It's just like Sam Donald. We ain't gonna sit here and go revision his history and be like, we didn't see
With the
Sam
Jets.
Donald crap it up with the Jets, and now all of a sudden he's doing pretty decent. We'd be like, oh, he's good now. We seen Geno Smith. He showed a couple of years of real good ball, and now what does it look like now? So
No.
let's
See,
not. We're
Geno
not.
Smith is different
No, it
because
ain't different. He's with the same coach.
okay,
He's just
okay,
trash.
no, but listen. Let's say Daniel Jones continues this year,
Mm-hmm.
and then next year he does the same thing he did
He's
this year.
he's got to do it for the next 3 to 4 years
Okay,
for
what
me.
about Sam Darnold?
Same thing. Ain't no
No, but
different.
he's showing he did it last year with a different team.
Yeah, but once again, I say Geno Smith. Geno Smith had 2 good years in Seattle. The last 2 years, he had pretty decent years. What is he looking like now?
Trash. Straight
Okay then.
garbage. Straight
Okay then. That's what
garbage.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At some point in time, you're gonna have to do it more than just 2 years in a row. That's almost like a person playing real good this year, playing good another year, then you get a contract and you go at the bed the next year after that after you get paid. I need to see at least 3 years of consistent play before I'm gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, he's really good now. I'm not giving you that. I'm gonna be like, he's doing great, he's doing well. Daniel Jones is doing great, he's doing well. I'm giving him all of his props for his things, just like Sam Donald. He did great, he did well last year. Give him all his props. He's doing pretty good, pretty solid this year. I'm giving him his props, but you gotta give me one more. I hate to say it, you gotta give me. You gave me too many bad seasons for me to go off of 2 good seasons and be like, yeah, you up there. Nah, I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it like that. That's like looking at
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins and be like, oh, Kirk Cousins was. I've
Man,
always
that
been on
downfall.
mediocre with Kirk Cousins his whole entire career, but he's
Yeah.
had some great seasons, and then he's been pedestrian.
Okay.
So it's just like I'm not gonna go that route. I can't do it. I'm not gonna jump the gun. I hope Daniel Jones and Sam Donald. I'm glad that they resurrect their career to somewhere to where they're respectable numbers. But you gotta give me at least two. You gotta give me at least 3 years. You gotta give me 3 good seasons. You got
Fair
to.
enough.
People ain't
Fair
gonna
enough.
be. Ain't nobody
I
ever easy on Brock Purdy to me. So I seen what his numbers was when he first came in, and nobody believed in Brock Purdy. And now all of a sudden, now he's injured all the time, of course, but nobody gave him his propers. So I'm not gonna give somebody else they propers because they doing good for 2 seasons, and I gotta see that 3 years. Give me 3 years, and then
that's
I'll
fair.
talk.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'm with you on that. You know, the thing that's been super interesting about this season, all the teams like all seem to be pretty middle of the pack when you look at their records. Like
Yeah,
it's like all right, when you look at Detroit 5-2, Rams 5-2, Green Bay 5-1-1, Indianapolis Colts 7-1, Tampa Bay 6-2, Philadelphia 6-2, Buffalo 5-2, Kansas City 5-3, Seattle 5-2, Denver 6-2, New England 6-2, San Francisco 5-3, Pittsburgh 4-3, Jacksonville 4-3, Los Angeles 5-3. So like when you look at that, everybody is it's
yeah,
so hard to rank everybody.
yeah.
Like you don't have, you know what I
You don't
mean?
have that wide gap margin. Previous years, you might have 2, 3 teams still undefeated right now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Or one team's undefeated. One team got one loss. That might have been a loss to the team that was undefeated or something
yeah.
like, and then everybody else is kind of like falls in the middle of the pack. So you don't have a clear cut. Well, this team is the best team, except for I feel like Indianapolis looking at it. They're the best team in
I
the
feel like
league.
Indianapolis. Yeah,
But they still got a blemish on their record. They didn't, last few years, I think we've been dealing with the first team wouldn't get a blemish until like week 9, week 8, week 9, something like that.
yeah,
But there's not been really a dominant. Like you look at Philly and be like, dang, Philly should be dominant this year. They
yeah.
ain't looking too hot. I mean, they are winning, but they ain't looking all that great.
Even with
Tampa
the
Bay
wins,
is
they don't look great.
actually a Tampa Bay is actually another one of those teams that's really good, really good, and then they
Yeah.
lost Mike Evans. Didn't he get injured again?
Yeah. Mike Evans. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Um, but they're strong. The Rams are always strong. We see what they're doing. It's just it's a great year of football. Just to put it that way, because it's not
Yeah.
you're not just looking at the same power teams as you would normally do. There's another
Yeah.
like Indianapolis just came out of nowhere. New England's kind of come out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just like, wow, we didn't expect the Ravens to plummet like they have, which they look good Sunday because they actually did right and put the right person
And
as a
put
backup.
yeah, put the
So
person that fits
yeah,
closest to Lamar.
yeah. Not only that, he knows the system because he's been there for
He's been
years.
there. Yeah.
So I don't know why you throwing
Why you
Cooper
would put Cooper
Rush.
Rush?
Whatever. I'm not gonna get
Yeah.
into that. That's just
Well, yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's been a competitive year. I mean, I really have enjoyed watching this year.
Can we highlight something real quick? This is what I
Hmm.
want to highlight. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, they were talking about a lot of the owners and things were talking about how running backs really aren't that valuable.
They just don't
Uh,
pay them.
weren't paying running backs because they're just not that. They're not that valuable anymore. They're not as valuable as they were. Um, Fast forward to the 2025-26 season,
Mm-hmm.
and they are
Hmm.
some of the most valuable assets on the
Hmm.
field. Looking at it,
A running
um,
back has always been one of the most valuable assets on the game.
oh,
You can't
listen,
win.
listen to me. You, all the teams that are solid right now, why are they solid? Because they have
A balanced attack.
a balanced attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Colts have the best running back in the league. They are 7-1. Statistically, he's the best running back in the league. Philly is
Even though
it,
they ain't been
it
using Saquon at all.
they haven't, but he still helps set up
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the big deep plays because you
Yeah. The
gotta
fact that he's on the field, you gotta account
field
for
changes
him. Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, Even when you look at New York, even though they hadn't been winning, their offense looked more successful because they were able to run the ball.
Yep. And poor Scatterboo, he went out.
Oh man, that was such a gruesome
Scatterboo,
injury.
yeah,
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 that was bad. I feel bad because he was having such a good rookie season.
yep.
I was becoming a fan.
Oh, I like the dude, man. He got the
Yeah, I do
energy.
too.
He got the personality, the energy on the field, bro. I'm a fan of him. I will say
Yeah,
I'm a fan of that man right
yeah,
there.
me too. Me too. But yeah, I mean, you have even I'll take the Rams. You talk about Kyron Williams over the
Mm-hmm.
last 2 years. Kyron Williams has been very vital to what we've been able to do downfield
Yeah.
because we're able to use the play action. We're able to run Kyron Williams, especially when we get into the red zone. We have multiple ways to kind of attack, and that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Denver has been better because they have
Yep.
a decent run game. Even the Cowboys offensively with
Yes.
what's the name Williams, he's been able to run, and the Cowboys have been decent offensively because of that. Now, the only thing stopping them is their defense. So, but yeah, offensively, the Cowboys have looked better due to a run game. A lot of these teams are successful based on the run game. Look at Buffalo. What did James Cook? What did he just? He
Mm-hmm.
had almost 200 yards this past weekend, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to have the run game, and over this season they've showed just how important running backs are to the league. So I wanted to highlight that.
Man, it. Let's just be honest. When it comes to football, every position is equally yoked. Let's just be honest with it, because without an offensive line, you can't have an offense. They're
That's
the most
true.
important piece in any football teams. An offensive line, you got to have one. You're not winning without one. Let's just keep it a buck. We just
Yeah.
seen it plenty of years. You're gonna have a hard time winning without a running back. Without a running game, you're one dimensional. Guess what? Makes it easy for the defense to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So without a running game, you're not gonna win a whole bunch. Some teams get away with it, you know what I'm saying. But let's just not act like they don't have at least some kind of running game to some semblance. Even Tom Brady, with as much passes they threw, they had some serviceable running backs, you know what I'm saying, that
Yeah.
can catch out the backfield or give you those easy 3 to 4 yard carries or whatever. They ain't got to be 1,000 yard rusher. You just got to be serviceable, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then on top of that, yes, QB is one of the most important positions on the thing. Good QB is going to probably take you above and beyond. But a serviceable QB, we've seen that in the past. A
Yeah.
serviceable QB
You can
can
win
get
with
you to
that.
where you need to go. You can win with
Yeah.
the serviceable QB. You can't win with trash. I mean, we've seen teams have trash QBs and they don't go really anywhere. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I joke about Garoppolo all the time, but Garoppolo wasn't trash. He was serviceable. He's a good backup quarterback. That's probably where that's his ceiling to me. A
Right.
bench starter maybe on a sorry team. Well, we seen what he looked like when he was with the Raiders. Yeah, that's just he's a good backup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where he's supposed to be at to me. But we won with him,
Yeah.
but we also had a dominant running game. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? All he has to do is just make sure that you don't make a mistake. That's really when you want a serviceable quarterback. Somebody that could be back there to not make a mistake and turn the ball over. We know what defense is all about. Defense is completely important because you got to have somebody that's going to stop somebody from scoring. So
Yeah.
every piece of a football team is important.
It is.
But you know what I'm saying? So to sit there and the way that these owners be not wanting to pay these running backs, and there's no reason why some of these running back shelves lies are so small. Because it's just like y'all ain't even giving them a chance. Y'all give a QB a chance after chance after chance, but then a running back, they out of the league within 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
That's kind of messed up to me. You know what I'm saying? But a quarterback can be a journeyman for five,
For
8 to 9 years, and then get
years.
their chance out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
everybody is ready to be, oh, this is what he can do. But a running back could be sitting on the bench for 3 to 5 years, then out of the league,
Yeah.
watching TV on the couch like me and you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. There's too many. I think there's been lost too many talented running backs that have their career has ended because nobody wanted to give them a chance anymore. Once they
Hmm.
hit about 25, 26, 27, once you hit those ranges, 28, I thought when you hitting like between 25 to 28 to up to 30, that's your prime years, ain't it? That's what I thought.
I, yeah. I guess when you look at
But
it in football years, though, because we have to think our prime years and NFL prime years can be different, man.
yeah, I mean, but I'm just doing that off of a lot of sports. When you talk about a person's prime, it's that 25 to 28 range because that's when you've been in the league enough to grow deeply into the league. You're still,
You've learned.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you're not even fully, you're probably reaching your peak probably
Yeah.
around this time. You're going to be at that point to where you you're going to be at your best.
Yeah.
Now, you might not be physically, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be banged up physically or and stuff like that, especially in the NFL, we know. But if you're a
Yeah.
running back that ain't got much opportunity,
Yeah. You should, right.
but
I
those
guess you got to keep grinding. I mean, I don't know
I mean, now we have seen some running backs that lasted long, you know what I'm saying? Probably based off of name and stuff like that alone, like your Melvin Gordons of the world
yeah.
that stuck around for a while, just different people that have a name for themselves. They have garnered that, but it's messed up because they don't get paid like they should, and they take so much punishment as a running
Yeah.
back.
Well, Christian McCaffrey definitely got paid like he should, but it's few and far between. But also, we look at Christian McCaffrey, and I think a lot of it has to do. Obviously, he's talented, but a lot of it is we think about what he was doing in Carolina.
Yeah,
We often
yeah,
revert back to that.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, and
you
and that's
think
true because those his best years.
yeah, and We talk about longevity running backs. I mean, Marshawn Lynch was one of those kind of running backs.
Yep.
Some
Yep.
longevity. Um,
Now, when you do get the ones that are like Derrick Henry's been in it for a while, I mean,
yeah,
you get your star running backs, they
at a high
last.
level too.
They go for a high level for a while once they
Yeah,
given those opportunities. But there's a lot of running backs that don't get paid what they should get paid, and they waste away a lot of running backs out there.
yeah.
And in comparison to, like you said, a quarterback can get chance after chance. A running back don't get all those chances like that. You literally got to
You
prove yourself.
you know whose career got hosed?
Who's that?
Steven Jackson, because he was
Yeah,
such a good running back.
yeah, he was.
He was a great running back. But like
Yep.
he's the running back nobody talks about because the Rams were the sorriest team in the league during his span. It was just him. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know what I
he
mean?
was a beast. He was definitely a beast.
Beast. He was a monster.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
he's one of the better running backs nobody talks about.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep. And there's other
And
running backs that you would think would have had a better chance, and they gave him more of a better career if they gave more, like Trent Richardson from Alabama when he got it.
yeah,
They didn't give him. I don't think they gave him a fair shot, to be honest with you. But
you don't think so?
to be honest, no. Well, he lasted like 3, 4 years, maybe.
Or, yeah, something
He
like
didn't
that.
last
Yeah,
very long. He didn't last. I think I seen a podcast where he was kind of talking about it. He kind of lost passion of the game,
yeah,
But it's just I hate it for him because running backs is so important. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
gotta have a good running back. You just have to. You have to. Not even. I don't say you gotta have a good. You need to have at least a solid running game.
yeah.
You
I
could run by committee. We've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Now, look, but you know what's also really important? Like the guys, let's say they play linebacker, but they don't start, right? They might be
Mm-hmm.
the third string linebacker, but where are they probably at? Special teams.
Mm-hmm.
They are as important as anybody else because special
Yeah.
teams is super duper important. And this
We've
season
seen
has
games
showed us how
win and
important special teams is.
games have been won and lost based upon special teams. A
A
lot of
lot this
times
season.
games are won and lost by special teams.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And kickers, they have a lot on their plate because
Mm-hmm.
it's just kickers are there. Here's the thing. If I kick a field goal, let's say I kick a 45-yard field goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I make it. Goes through the upright. And then I kick a field goal from 36 yards and doink, I miss it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your psyche has to be right because that, I don't care. That messes with you mentally. Like, damn, how'd I miss that?
How did I
Like, I
miss that? I
did
kicked.
everything right besides make it.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Then you start you start to psych yourself out. You're like, I know I can make that. I just made a 42-yarder.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Most
that is
definitely.
that's a mental game that you got to deal with that. That's
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 that
a
mental
rough.
warfare right there, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
But a good
Because
kicker shakes it off and goes and they kick the next one like it's the first one. So
yeah,
that's what a good kicker usually does. Now, I don't know what happened with Jake Moody, but
yeah, yeah,
that mug
yeah.
had demons in his closet or something. Because I don't know what in the world got in his head. Boy, they was freaking him out because he was. I don't know why it killed me because when we first got Jake Moody and drafted him, his numbers was good as a kicker. He looked good. And then I
Yeah,
don't
it did.
know what happened. He just started just shanking and missing. And it's like, bro, what in
Mental,
the
man.
world? It's crazy.
Mental.
You,
It's and
got to
then
get away from that bad juju.
you have the ones that kind of just don't give a damn, kind of like that they don't give a damn so much that it doesn't even matter. They're like uh, an example is Greg Zerline, Greg the Leg. Like he
Yeah.
could kick like nobody's business. Like in terms of power, like he had
Mm-hmm.
range on his kicks. But I think like midway through the career, he was having some accuracy issues, and I think he just said, you know what? I don't care. I'm still gonna boot the shit out of these balls, and hopefully it goes through the middle. But if it doesn't, you saw that it would have went in, and you saw the distance
Yeah.
that I got, and
You know I
it
got a
like
hell of a
he
foot, right?
was, yeah, he's like solely just, well, I'm gonna kick it far. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think he just kind of stopped caring. He's like, I hope I make it. I think I'm gonna make it. But either way, you're gonna see that I got a leg, right? It's not gonna be
Yeah.
an issue of whether how strong my leg is.
You ain't gotta
And
worry. You ain't gotta worry about that part. I got that.
yeah. Long as we can keep it straight, we're good.
Worry.
And
Y'all out there worry about the wrong thing.
yeah, yeah. But no, another position. I mean, like you said, they're all important. But
Yeah.
I think where the game has changed, like so. Here's the thing. Obviously, it's a passing league. They pass more than they used to.
Hold
But
on, real quick.
lo-
Hold that thought, real quick. I was gonna say one thing. There's only one position on the football field that is dang near nowadays literally obsolete.
what's
Can
that?
you guess what it is?
Kick return?
No,
Yeah,
a
I don't know.
fullback.
But yeah, that position
Teams
doesn't even
barely even
exist no
have a
more.
fullback anymore.
Yeah.
Like the 49ers are like the only one I know that got a fullback.
Have a fullback. Yeah, I was just going to say the 49ers are the only team that actually has a fullback. Nobody
Yeah.
uses fullbacks anymore. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't even think about that. Yeah, fullback.
Yeah.
Obsolete. Nobody has one anymore.
Might as
Like
well not.
players, they would just rather use two tight ends now.
Yep.
Just line two
Yep.
tight ends up.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And
But not. Go ahead.
no, and that's one of those things where the game has changed and has become faster because tight ends are faster now. But
Mm-hmm.
what that has done has made linebackers have to be faster now.
Yep.
Like now, let me ask you this: Ray Lewis wasn't known as being very fast, right? He wasn't even. He was just his. He had a high football IQ, right?
Didn't he run like
Um,
a 4.8 40 or something like that?
yeah, right. So
Probably
I
faster
mean,
than that.
don't get me wrong, he's fast, right?
Oh yeah.
He's faster than the average bear. But um when we look at the way the league is played today and how things could Ray Lewis have played like today, like this season. Well,
Yeah.
obviously he could have played. That's not my
Yes.
question. Let me rephrase that. Obviously he could play, right? He's got a
Mm-hmm.
high IQ, and but he's not the Ray Lewis that we know in this era.
No, because they changed the rules so you can't hit nobody.
Yeah, yeah. Like he because he made you respect coming through the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were going to, it was going to be an issue. Like it was,
Yeah.
you were going to think about it. If you had ran a crossing pattern and Ray Lewis hit you, mm, you know, some
Yeah. You're gonna think
dropsies
about
might
that on that
happen.
again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's that's a game changer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that's where our the linebacker position has changed because they're not so much hitting the way they used to, but they have to cover the kind of like how strong they got to cover in a way that strong safeties got to cover, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more about being able to make plays on the ball. Now they still got to be, they're just as important in terms of stopping the run, but they don't have to be uh, the big hit guys anymore. And
Right.
really they can't based on the rules,
Yeah.
but they have to be able to understand coverage. And that's where the league has changed. And it's almost like I remember on Madden when I used to like move safeties around, and
Mm-hmm.
I would take my backup strong safety and put him at linebacker depending on who I was playing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just for coverage purposes.
Yeah.
And that's almost like what the league has done. It's like, okay, well, now a strong safety is probably going to move to like linebacker, right? I think of like a why I like Omar Spates for the Rams is because
Mm-hmm.
he's just better in coverage, and that's important. So
Well,
that's
I
one of the things That's probably one of the bigger changes that I've seen over the
Well,
last.
I will also say though, if you really think about how some teams run the linebackers, they have one, for instance, the 49ers. You have, when our team is healthy, you got Fred Warner, who's kind of your do it all linebacker. He can cover, he can
Yeah,
stop the run.
yeah,
Then we always have the second one that be on the team, whether you want to like how we have Winters now,
hmm,
you know what I'm saying, who's pretty good. He's not a coverage linebacker. He's literally more of a run stopper. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So teams adjust with it in the way of that not your middle linebackers, especially if you're running like a 3-4 defense, kind of like what the 49ers have always kind
Ru-
of ran,
yeah,
or some type of thing, or if you're running nickel, you most of the time you got if you got three linebackers out there, you probably got one or two that can actually cover. One's going to be able to do more. The other one's going to be more for run stopping. You're mixing them up now. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Because you got to kind of have both of them on the in the game like that.
yeah,
So like I know that's what the 49ers do a lot is they mix them up. They got Warner who can kind of do everything, and then you got the other one. And we kind of was always like that. We had Patrick Willis. Patrick Willis could
yeah.
do
Patrick Willis.
all of it,
That was a great
and then we
example.
had Navarro Bowman who kind of was more the, you know what I'm saying, I'm the run stopper, I'm the hard
Yeah,
hitter. Patrick, not saying that Patrick Willis didn't hit hard because he definitely did, but it was just one did one thing. You kind of mix and match. So now you
yeah,
kind of have a coverage linebacker, and then you got that guy that's going to probably follow the running back out into the flats. You know what I'm saying, and be able to.
yeah,
So it's scheming now. You got to scheme it better now because the fact that we do have tight ends that are fast, and
hmm,
there's a lot more coverages that linebackers have to do. So you kind of got to scheme a little bit better because we know historically linebackers are always usually slower than your running backs. You
yeah.
don't want a linebacker typically on a running back and a out, what I'm saying, on a fly route, or you definitely don't want to run a linebacker on a receiver. But now
No,
that
yeah.
tight
That's
ends are a lot
last thing.
faster, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Tight ends are more pass orientated than what they used to be. Now you got to put a linebacker on a tight end and try to cover this dude that's running a
yeah,
4.5. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
yeah,
he's 260 running 4.5. It's like crazy. Trying to guard a Kyle Pitts is, I imagine, it's hell out there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
so or trying to cover your Kittles and Gronks and Laportas and you know what I'm saying, these dudes
yeah,
that can catch and run. I imagine how the league is going now, but yeah, you got to scheme them now. Now that's how teams have to play.
yeah,
Either that
yeah,
or
for
hope
sure.
that your defensive line gets to the quarterback. That's it.
To kind of bring things to a head, this is what I want to know. Is Indianapolis the real deal? And when I say real deal, do they maintain this what they're doing now? They maintain this through the season, barring injury.
Yeah, I think they do.
Okay.
I think they
And
do.
I got one more for you. Now, I'm not asking you because of this past weekend, but if Houston figures out their offense, like it seems like they kind of did this past weekend. If they continue like that, or do you believe they're finna be a problem in the AFC?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay,
I mean,
because
no doubt. Because
yeah,
they've always had a solid defense.
yeah,
Their offense, for whatever reason, man, their offense has been shaky. If they get their act together, they're gonna be a problem. Period.
yeah,
That'll be a problem for
and
a team like Indianapolis.
and can we agree that that Philly is a little bit overrated right now? Not to say they ain't gonna go to the playoffs and all, they're going to the playoffs, but can we agree that they a little bit overrated right now?
Overrated or underwhelming?
Ah, great question. What do you say? What do you think?
I personally think that they're underwhelming right now. I won't say that they're overrated. I think they still got the talent. Their team is legit. I think their team is legit. I just think they're not performing where they should be at.
Yeah,
So they're not meeting their expectations technically
Tations.
for me.
Got you.
So I rather say I call them more underwhelming than I will say overrated. Overrated means that you're playing. You could almost say, like, let's just say hypothetically, you could say Indianapolis is overrated.
Overrated.
You could want to put them in that category because they come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? They're making a lot of noise. They're playing
Right.
almost perfect ball. and you're just looking for them to. All right, you gonna drop the ball this week? Possibly.
Yeah,
Is it gonna?
yeah,
Are you gonna ride that high horse, or is it gonna actually? Or
exactly.
y'all gonna actually come back down to earth? You know what I'm saying? Like type ordeals. But with Philly, I just think Philly, of course, they got a new offensive coordinator, so those things do matter. We all know,
Yeah,
coaching matters. So I think they're just underperforming. So they're kind of underwhelming more than they are overrated because I've seen what they can do when they're clicking. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? When they click, they're gonna be a problem to beat. Their defense is still there. You know what I'm saying? Their offense, they just need to. I don't know what they got going on. They just need to find their identity again and stick to it.
yeah,
Are you gonna run the ball? Because you ain't been using Saquon like you're supposed to,
yeah,
and he ain't been getting off like he normally would. And then, just some bad Jalen Hurts not reading certain passes, certain coverages, overthrowing balls, things like that. I just think they're just underwhelming. They're underperforming. They're underwhelming. I wouldn't call them overrated because we could say that all the time about them, and they end up making it into the playoffs and being a problem. So,
yeah. Fair enough. Well, as always, I appreciate you, Adrian.
oh
Thank
yes,
you.
sir, yes, sir.
I
Always good.
I appreciate everybody that chimed in, checked out the show, listened all the way through,
And I
whatever.
appreciate
Appreciate
them
y'all.
Dallas Cowboys, man. Y'all made my Sunday. Touched my heart. Man, that
How
was
about them
great.
Cowboys? I didn't hear that at all this weekend. So,
I don't know why you would have.
all
Yeah,
right,
how about
y'all.
them?
I appreciate y'all. See
All
y'all
right,
back
y'all.
next week.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, peace.